YouTube, Dr. Yvette here, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about us harvesting peanuts. As you can see, my uncle and my cousin got to the peanut field first, and there are rows and rows that have already been harvested. And so I thought I would bring you along with me to watch me and my husband harvest a few peanuts out of the field, and then later on in the video you watch us join the peanut harvesting party. Thanks for watching. There are farmers that have heavy equipment, but that's not what we use. We use the power of our hands. And here I'm pulling the peanut bush up out of the ground. Here's another close-up of me pulling up another bush, but I wanted to get a little bit closer so you can see how I pull it out of the ground. I do my best to try to get it all of the roots up, but if you notice, only one peanut was here on this bush, and then I grab at the ground to see if I left peanuts in the ground, because I will pick them up off of the ground, especially if there's no bugs or extra ants around them. But this bush only had one peanut, so that wasn't a good bush. That's why you have to pick so many. It takes a whole lot to get a bucket. Here you're looking at my aunt's hand. She didn't want to be on camera, but I told her I would only film her hands. But I wanted you to see what a full peanut bush looked like. There are lots of peanuts on this bush, and it takes lots of bushes to fill up this bucket. And we were working on this bucket for a friend of hers. But it was so funny. He was afraid of the green worms that can be on them. And he thought peanuts grow on trees like pecans. But anyway, it is a fun event when you're doing it with family. So this looks massive, but when you have several hands helping out, at least 4 to 5 hands, this takes under an hour. And remember, there's anywhere between 2 peanuts to 12 on a bush. So the next phase is to get the peanuts cleaned up, and what you have to do is take them, soak them in water, swish the water around a little bit, at least 3 to 4 times to get all of the dirt off of them, and then you strain them. And so here you see me making several trips to the spigot to get the water so that I can wash the peanuts several times. Here I just washed them 3 times. And then I feel them in the end to make sure that there's no dirt and no real grit on it. Make sure that there's no leaves floating around in the water. And then they're ready to go to be roasted or to boil. Okay, here I think I'm on my last wash, but as you can see, I picked the peanut off the ground. I take the leaf out because I will not waste a peanut, especially when you see the work that goes into it, how you pick each peanut off of the bush. Yes, we don't waste a peanut. I was just squeezing the water out of my gloves. It was really, really cold that day, so the water in the gloves was bothering me. But I am also looking in the bucket just to make sure there's not an excessive amount of dirt in the bucket, because that lets me know how clean I've gotten the peanuts. I've brought the peanuts inside. I've actually put them in the sink and rinsed them one good time in the house using my colander. I like to clean them outside first so that I don't have all of that sand and dirt in my kitchen sink. And then I bring them over to a big pot, use my pot filler to fill them up with the water covering the peanuts, and you boil them for at least 2 hours. I go a little bit more than 2 hours because I want to make sure that they are nice and soft. And when you get ready to boil them, you season them to taste. Here I look like I've discovered that there's a peanut that doesn't look so good, so I just remove it from the pot. But I boil them for 2+ hours just to make sure that they're nice and soft and to the texture that I like and that my husband likes, because boiled peanuts is one of his favorites. Here I'm seasoning the peanuts. You season them to taste. I use salt, pepper, and the Badia Complete, and you actually season them before they get to a rapid boil so that the flavor is inside of the peanut. But what I notice is when you bite the peanut, it's not that the salt is in the actual peanut, but the saltiness is inside the shell. And so again, season to taste, but I love to eat my aunt's because she used salt, pepper, paprika, cayenne pepper to make them spicy, and hers are delicious. I'm not able to use that type of seasoning because my husband doesn't like the spice of it. Here I'm giving one of the peanuts a try, so excuse the smacking, but they turned out really delicious. Just the perfect amount of salt and pepper, and they're great, and I'm going to enjoy them. Delicious. Here I'm placing the peanuts on a paper bag to get all of the water out, but also to let them cool off before I put them in a Ziploc freezer bag to freeze all of those that we don't eat that day. My daughter and I decided to try the boiled peanuts first, and they are delicious. But you have to be careful because you can eat too many, and just based on how much work it goes into harvesting them, because you know you can have anywhere from 1 or 2 peanuts on a bush to 12 on a bush. And so you don't want to eat up everything that you harvest in one setting. So be careful because they are going to be delicious. Here's a little footage of a random sweet potato plant that was in the peanut field. Thanks for watching the video.